Now about the higher. We all know that letting go of the anger, letting go of the resentment is not as easy as we think, right? People might say to us, let it go, forget about it, don't think about it, and what had happened, happened. But the person who is in that situation, person who is really dealing with that person or that problem, only knows how difficult it is and how painful it is to experience that. But here's the thing. If we need to be at peace, if we need to make peace with ourselves, we need to learn a way of thinking and a way of dealing with these kind of people and these kind of situations. And that is why I need to introduce you to a way of thinking that Buddha taught us to do, to deal with such people and to deal with such situations, right? The reason why I needed to make this video is that the other day, I was reading this sutra and I came across this one part of this sutra, which is I find really inspiring and really valuable advice from the Buddha. So first of all, let's take a look at what Buddha has to say about this. The Buddha says, one may apply to that person the fact of ownership of karma. Let's name this way of thinking as the ownership of karma. The Buddha says, this worthy person is the owner of his actions, the heir to his actions. His actions are the womb from which he has sprung, his relations and his protection. Whatever he does, good or bad, he will be heir to that. To remove the grudge or remove the resentment of someone, the Buddha advises us to look at their karma. Now, what do you mean by karma? Karma is the action, karma is the intentional actions that we do from our body, from our speech, and from our mind, right? Now, with these intentions, we create sort of consequences. The other part of the karma is called consequences of karma, which we call in Pali vipaka, right? So, with this karma, there's one part called the vipaka. That means the consequences of karma, right? So the Buddha says, whatever the karma you do with intentions, whatever the intentional actions that you do, it generates its own consequences, right? So the Buddha says that if someone does actions with his body, speech, and his mind with an impure intention or impure mind, the suffering follows that person like a cartwheel follows the ox, right? So in that case, let's say if someone is hurting you, right? If someone is hurting you and your emotion, hurting your emotions, so that person is doing that intentionally, right? With that intention, he generates karma. Now, if you consider about that intention, you can clearly say that intention is not pure. It is an impure intention. So with impure intention, what generates? Impure karma. And when one generates impure karma, the suffering follows that person. So when you look at someone who is hurting you, you can think, okay, whatever they do, right now they're doing an unwholesome action, so they're going to go through the consequences of that action. And whatever I do, right, how I react to that situation, how I react to their expressions and their way of behaviors is my karma. Now, do I need to get intervened with their unwholesome actions? Do I need to collect such unwholesome actions to my life, such unwholesome karma to my life? Then you can tell to yourself, I clearly don't want that to happen to myself because I care for myself and I love myself. When you think about that, it's a great way of thinking about such people, right? So whenever you come across with a difficult customer, a rude customer, what do you have to do? Okay, you have to think, whatever the karma that they are going to collect is their own karma. And how I respond to that karma is my karma. So I choose to respond to this situation with kindness, compassion, and patience. and maturity. Most importantly, maturity is really crucial when you are dealing with such people. Okay, I always say to people that when someone is angry with you, when someone is yelling at you, be the bigger person. That means be someone who is bigger than that person's qualities, right? Be someone who has bigger patience than that person. So when you face such situations with patience and maturity, you can deal with such people in the correct way, and also you can let go of that anger and resentment with time, right? I know most of the time you will not be able to do this as quick as you want, right? Although you may need to let go of the anger quickly, it won't happen. But it's okay. Take a good time to let go of the anger by thinking like this, right? So let's say you are going through a difficult situation and someone is angry with you and you are angry with them, right? You hold on to this grudge and resentment in your mind. Then what happens to you? The more you hold on to it, who is the person who is going to get hurt? You're the person who is going to get hurt, right? Because there's a nice saying that says, it's a Buddhist saying that says that if you're angry with someone, right? If you're holding and you're hating someone, it's like holding a hot coal, right? Or red hot iron ball in your hand, and you're trying to throw it at another person to hurt that person. If you take a red hot iron ball to throw it to a person, who is the first person is getting hurt? You're the one who is getting hurt first, right? So in the same way, if you hold on to the anger, if you hold on to the resentment about someone, the first person who is going to get hurt is you. So when you understand this, and when you understand that self-care, self-love, self-compassion is important to heal, then you can let go of that anger. So this is the way to think about the person. Think in the perspective of karma, right? Whatever they do, it is their karma, and how I respond to that is my karma. So I choose to collect. I choose to collect a good karma to my life by responding to that situation with patience and maturity. So I hope this idea will help you to deal with such people in the correct way. And I wish you all, may you be healthy and may you be happy. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, as humans, we all have got this life and it is very valuable. Supreme Buddha taught, you will be born as a human very rarely. You will get this human life as a very rare chance. We are on never-ending journey of the cycle of this rebirth, and it is called the samsara. While going on this samsara journey, it is very rare one to have a human birth, human life. So, being humans, we have the ability and opportunity to do the good. And we know the difference between the good and bad. As Buddhists, we are lucky to know about the evil and the wholesome things. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us about this. Supreme Buddha taught, if you practice the evil side of your mind, if you give the space of the evil side of your mind, and if you give the majority to the evil side of your mind, that evil thing, that evil deeds, that evil practice will bring you suffering. So, as humans, we have the energy and we have the power to develop the wholesome and the good in our mind. So, we should know the difference between the good and bad. We should study it, and we should study about our mind. Once you know how the mind works, you can trick your mind to turn this practice, the evil practices, to a good practice. So among these evil things, evil thoughts that pop up in our mind, a major evil thought is the pride. Normally, when we are young, when we are living in our youth, young children are in a sense of pride of their own life, of their youth, of their health and strength, physical strength. They are living in a sense of pride. So this pride may lead us to do evil things. So that is why the majority of young people are not living their life in the correct way. Supreme Buddha taught, you should avoid the pride about your youth while you are young. You should avoid the pride about your health while you are healthy. You should avoid the pride on your youngness and your life while you are alive. So, if we are pride, if we are being over proud of ourselves, that leads to the destruction of your good deeds, good qualities. So, let me tell you a nice story. One day, a beetle saw a big cow dung. And he went inside that cow dung and he was amazed. So he asked his friends, and with the help of his friends, he built a big kingdom in this cow dung. But still it was a cow dung. But he was very proud of being the king and the founder of this kingdom. While he was living there, while these things was going on, a big and huge elephant went near this cow dung. When the elephant was going, he saw this cow dung, and to avoid stepping on this cow dung, he stepped aside of it. Then the proud beetle was very angry of lifting the elephant's leg upon his head. Out of pride, this beetle challenged this elephant. He said, "How dare you lift your leg upon me? You should apologize me. I am a king, or I will behead you instantly." The elephant heard this and he replied, "My dear Majesty, I am really, really sorry of being dishonest to you. So I beg your pardon." By saying this, the huge elephant stepped on the cow dung, crushing all the beetles inside it. One act of pride made the destruction of whole beetles. So, if you are being proud, if you are being proud of yourself, that leads to sure destruction of your life. That is why Supreme Buddha taught, you should contemplate on your death. Supreme Buddha taught, always remember you are a dying person. You are mortal. If we think we are mortal, then we know that all the things that we gather to our life, all the things that we hold on in our life are impermanent. One day we will have to lose all these things. So if we are going to lose all these things that we gather in our life, then we are permanent holders to all these things, physical matter. So that is why Supreme Buddha taught, if you are clinged or if you are craving on something, surely that brings you suffering. So the more we cling, the more we become proud of our wealth, our money, our children, our land, our properties,
the more the suffering will come to your life. So be content with what you have. Be happy with what you have. And don't be proud. Always remember, we all are mortal. We will have to live this life one day. So always practice the good deeds before the death, because life is too short. Always be kind, always be compassionate, and don't be proud ever. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, we start our day in the morning. So morning is an important time in the day. If we did something good, and if we spend our morning successfully, then the whole day will be very happy and nice. At the end of the day, when you're going to bed, you can recall about on your day, and you can be happy if you start the day with a happy mind. So, the morning is more important in our life. So how you spend the morning determines how you spend the day. So, if you start the day, if you start in the morning, if you start your day with a good thought, with a wholesome thought, then your whole day will be happy. That refreshment will last long for the whole day. So, here are a few things that you can do in every morning. In each and every morning, when you open your eyes, you feel that you are alive, that you feel that you are not dead. But for many people, that morning had been the worst morning of their life. They may be dead, they may fall into sickness. So in each and every morning, when you open your eyes and when you feel that you are alive, then you should be grateful for yourself, to your life of being alive. You can be happy. And always be grateful for people who helped you to live this life. With the help of those people, you are living in this world. So, in each and every morning, when you open your eyes to this world, think of the people who helped you on your life journey. Your parents, your teachers maybe your relations, maybe your wife, maybe your husband. Always recall the people who helped you on this journey of life and be grateful for them. In every morning, when you get up, if you can think, may all of my parents, teachers, relatives, and all of them be well and happy. If you can wish from the deepest place of your heart, if you can generate the kindness, love to themselves, then you can start your day with a happy mind. And also, there are some people who makes troubles for our life. So we are in a mood of anger about them. When you get up in the morning, think of them and try to forgive them. If you started forgiving to the people who makes troubles in your life, if you start forgiving to the enemies of you, then you can live your life peacefully. You may not find the agony or you may not find the stress within yourself because you have forgiven them. Though they are angry with you, though they hate you, if you have forgiven, then you will not carry that anger, that hatred to the next life. That is what we should do. If someone does a terrible or miserable thing to your life, start forgiving. then in each and every morning, forgive all the enemies and all the people who makes troubles to your life. That is another thing that we can do in every morning. And think of the all living beings in this world, and spread your love and kindness towards them. You can think, may all the beings be well and happy. May all the beings be healthy. May all living beings find the true happiness in their life. By generating these kind thoughts, compassionate thoughts, your heart will be cleansed. If your heart is abandoned from evil thoughts, then only you can find the happiness. Then only you can start your day with a happy mind. Then only your whole day will be a successful and a happy one. So make sure in every morning you practice the love and kindness when you get up. That is what we can do in every morning. Every morning starts with the dawn. Dawn is a special and beautiful time in the day. But that dawn, that beautiful and wonderful dawn, cannot make your life a beautiful one, a wonderful one. Supreme Buddha taught, if a person in the morning contemplates on Supreme Buddha, if he recalls the qualities of Dhamma, if he recalls the qualities of Sangha, if he generates the love and kindness within his heart, if he has an innocent heart within him, that morning will be the greatest and the wonderful morning that he is having in his life. So, dear devotees and my dear children, make sure in every morning to practice love and kindness. Be grateful for the people who you get the help to your life, and always contemplate on the Supreme Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and be kind, be compassionate, and practice love and kindness whenever possible. And always remember, every time is possible for you to practice love and kindness in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Dear meritorious devotees and my dear children, life is so beautiful when it is filled with good qualities. Normally, our mind tends to do the bad things and evil things. That is the nature of your mind. But if we practiced our mind to turn all those evil thoughts to good thoughts or wholesome thoughts, then our life will be wonderful. So the more you practice good qualities like compassion, love, kindness, and unselfishness, so all those good qualities makes your life a beautiful and wonderful one. So always we have to focus on the wholesome side of our mind. Yes, we are a mixture of good and bad. There is no single person in this world who is with 100% good qualities. And there is no a single person who is living in this world with 100% bad qualities. We are a mixture of good as well as the bad. So what we have to do to make our lives a better one is to focus on the wholesome side of our mind and practice and develop that part of your mind. The more you develop the wholesome part and the wholesome side of your mind, the less the evil thoughts may appear in the life. So that is based on the practice. Whatever you practice in your mind and in your life, in your day, and that particular thing will be the repetition of the whole life. That means if you practice the evil thoughts again and again and again, what will happen? Always your mind will be in the evil side. But if you practice good qualities again and again, always your mind tends to think, do, and work in the wholesome side of your mind. So that is why it is very important to develop the good qualities, good human qualities in the life. So, one of the basic and the foremost human wholesome quality is compassion. Compassion we called in Pali language karuna. Karuna means our great teacher Supreme Buddha explained this word. Paradukkhe hadayang kampetiti karuna. Feeling the sadness when others are going through a sad time in their life, if you feel sad, then that is what you call the compassion. And it simply means being sad and feeling the sadness when others are feeling sad, and being happy when others are being happy. That is what you call compassion. So if you have a compassionate heart, then you will feel the sadness of others. The more we develop the compassion in our mind, we can understand the situation of other people. Now, normally in this world, it is very rare to a person to understand others' situation. It is very hard to be in others' shoes. So always when we develop the compassion within our mind, then we will have the opportunity to understand the suffering, sadness, the critical situations of others. Then if you develop the compassion, then you will have the opportunity to help them. You will tend to help others. You will tend to sacrifice a part of your life on behalf of others. Life is not living only for yourself. A happy and wonderful life is something that we should live for others also. The most and the greatest compassionate person who ever lived in this world is our great teacher Supreme Buddha. He sacrificed his whole life to find the reality and the truth of this birth and death. And he tried very hard to escape from this suffering. And he sacrificed his life to escape all these beings from this suffering. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha is the best and the foremost model of compassion that we can find in this world. He sacrificed his whole life on behalf of us. So being unselfish and sacrificing our life for others, helping others, being compassionate is a good quality that you can develop in your life. If you be compassionate and if you help others, if you treat others with your kind words, kind actions, and kind intentions, then those broken hearts will be healed. If you use the compassionate words, those words can heal the broken hearts of people. So that is one of the biggest happiness that we can have in our life. That is called the mental pleasure, the pleasure of helping others, the pleasure that we gain by being compassionate. So after we grown old and when we are facing the death, and when we are living on our deathbed, we can recall our past and the way we lived, and we can be happy with that. Always remember, it is not matter how long you live. Always it matters how you lived. So, when you are living your life, try to practice these good qualities, good human qualities. Try to be a good human, a compassionate, a kind and lovable human. Then only you will have the opportunity to find the real peace and happiness in your life. So I wish you all, may all of you find the ultimate happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai.